women have a tendency to always go for bad boys. But sometimes bad boys are not the ones that are getting locked up. They just have a tendency to go for men that get a lot of women. So you don't have to go to jail. You don't have to commit crime in order to be considered a bad boy. Some guys are just bad because they have a lot of women. But there is a reason why women want these guys that may be for the reasons that you don't think. And today we're going to talk about why women prefer guys that sleep with a lot of women. Because they make better boyfriends. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Anthony Spade channel.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before I get started, I want you to watch the entire video. If you like the video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, and the notifications button at the end of the video. Right, today we're going to be talking about why women prefer to be with a guy that has been with a lot of women. All right, and the answer to that is going to be because they think that these guys make better boyfriends. So today I'm going to be breaking down 10 reasons why she thinks this type of guy makes a better boyfriend. First, the guy that sleeps with a lot of women is less likely to use her for sex because he's had so many women that he starts to become numb to it. The same way when she starts having a lot of men, she starts to become numb to it. See, sex becomes so routine that everyone that gets used to having sex becomes numb to it, desensitizes themselves to it, and then it takes mental stimulation in order to turn them on from there. That's the connection that she has with the guy that sleeps with a lot of women, is that both of them become desensitized to the sexual act, and now they require mental stimulation. Next, the guy that sleeps with a lot of women is more mature in the relationship, which means that he never shows signs of jealousy because he's used to having women. The guys that are not used to having women, they're going to get jealous once they have a girlfriend and then there's another guy that she's talking to or intervening. Guys that get jealous over women become a turnoff versus the guy that never gets jealous over a woman. That's why the guy that gets a lot of women is never going to get jealous because he can always get another woman, and that's what keeps a woman on her toes. It's a simple fact. He's not going to overreact, which makes him look more mature in the relationship. Next, guys that sleep with a lot of women is more confident with themselves. See, you got to realize, a lot of you guys out there, right? You went through a run where you did not have women at all. And then all of a sudden you got sex and you felt like you had a new life. You felt like you was a new pimp. Okay, the guy that gets women is constantly going through this. He's constantly feeling good because he's constantly getting his release. It makes him more confident. When you go so long without a woman and then you finally have sex, it gives you enough confidence to go to the next woman. That's the same way that a man that gets a lot of women is always feeling, and she consents. So it makes him more confident in everything that he does, which means that's going to be less aggravating on her end. Next, guys that sleep with a lot of women, like I said before, they dig into women's personalities. See, the guy that sleeps with a lot of women get a different variety of women. You may be a guy who's headed in one direction, and you may have a girl that is complete opposite of you. She would be attracted to you because you would never give her compliments. The guy that gets a lot of women learn to talk to women, learn to get up under women without them having a bias for him. So when a man is so used to getting to know different varieties of women, it makes him more diversified, and women can read that in a man. So she sees, when it comes to this guy, he's going to actually get to know me because he's desensitized to sex. Next, guys that sleep with a lot of women are very good in bed. And this is where a woman is going to battle. She's going to be battling where to put her emotions whenever he's so good in bed. She wants him as a boyfriend, but she knows that there's a chance that he is going to probably be with another woman because he is so good in bed. And she realizes that every girl that has been with him is probably going to be calling his phone again. So one of the reasons that she's going to stick around with this guy, she prefers this guy, is because in the bedroom, if he don't do anything in a relationship, he will be tearing it down in the bedroom. And that's going to be one of her biggest concerns when it comes to actually keeping a man around, is how he performs. Next, guys that sleep around a lot are more prone to being in long-term relationships. See, the more women that a guy sleeps with, the more numb he becomes to. But if he's sleeping with a lot of women and gaining success, he grows out of the pump and dump phase. Most guys that go through the pump and dump phase are guys that were in long-term relationships coming out, or guys that never had women and then finally started getting women. But when it comes to the guy who's constantly had women his whole life, he actually grows out of that phase and starts looking for a longer term relationship if he's gained success at the same time. A lot of guys that sleep with a lot of women, if they haven't gained success the whole time that they was in their prime, then they're just going to end up with a woman that takes care of them, which happens in most cases because he's still going to be good in bed. But the other guy who has been growing with the situation is more than likely going to be looking for a long-term relationship, because he's not going to go through turmoil like most guys in the manosphere are going through. Next, men that sleep with a lot of women just don't up and get in relationships with women. They're not desperate. So they're not going to get in a relationship with a woman for the wrong reasons. They actually miss out on a lot of problems that other guys who don't get that many women are going to face. Majority of baby dads out here are guys that could not really get a lot of women. A lot of you guys entrap the woman. This is why your baby mom looks ridiculous and you look ridiculous. It's because you both had a kid and because you had nothing else going on with your life. Okay, it's not like that when it comes to the guy that sleeps with a lot of women. The guy that sleeps with a lot of women is going to be very particular who he gets in these relationships with. So he's going to be very particular which woman he's spending his money on, which woman he's spending his time with. See, he just ain't going to up and be in a relationship. If he gets in a relationship, chances are he's not going to cheat. The guy that cheats is the guy that's been hurt. Next, the guy that sleeps with a lot of women does not cling to a woman whatsoever. See, this is a good challenge for a woman. See, women like knowing they have that guy that all the women want. But they know there's a chance that he's going to cheat, but there's a chance that he won't cheat. But he's not clingy at all. When they're not clingy like that, women love it because it allows her to play the game. It allows her to say to all the girls, look, I got a good one you know what? I'm going to let him go talk to those girls. I'm not going to get jealous. They're going to get jealous because they're not going to be able to break them. That's one thing that a man that does get a lot of women can do. He can actually decide if he want to cheat, and if he don't want to cheat, he always has the power. When he's not clingy, that's letting her know that she can be replaced. As long as she knows that she can be replaced, she's going to always act good in the relationship. Next, men that get a lot of women never get jealous of another man at all. And women love that. Women love a man that gets a lot of women. I'm like that too. When it comes to this, I'm not afraid to tell a woman like, yo, if somebody come along better, that's better than me, you need to roll with that. If somebody gonna spend more money on you than what I'm gonna spend, you need to roll with him. If there's a guy that come across that you feel is way better than me in every angle, you need to roll with that because it's vice versa over here. Women love that. Women love the fact that a man is not afraid to leave her and go to another woman instead of sitting around getting jealous of her for everything that she does. A man that gets a lot of women is typically going to be in his own world, and the girl has to adapt to him. So she loves the fact that he's not a jealous man at all because he's in control of his own universe. Next, men that sleep with a lot of women, when they get married or get in long-term relationships, they have a tendency not to cheat. And the women, and the reason why he has a tendency not to cheat is because a man that bees with a lot of women starts eliminating the good from the bad immediately. Which girls are going to work, which girls are not going to work, which girls are going to fit in, which girls are not going to fit in. When you have a lot of women, you can narrate it down to one woman that you decide that you want to be with after you have walked her through all the tests. A lot of you guys out there, you don't have options to a lot of women. So you got 3 women that you can test, and if they all fail, you got to start from scratch. But a man that gets a lot of women, he can have 10, 15 girls and narrate them down to one girl over the course of 10 to 12 years. And then he'll know, all right, I got one that's connected to me. Most guys that get a lot of women stays with the woman that's put up with all the other girls and wait for him to mature out of it. That's what you're going to see in most situations. And this is why women prefer men that sleep with a lot of women. It's because they make better boyfriends, because they've already went through things, the glory side of being a man, and they outgrow the pump and dump phase. This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully I was able to deliver the message. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button and that notifications button. Hasta la vista.